Hiya, my name's Mike, and welcome to what I hope will be a series of videos concerning the refurbishment of this machine. So this is the Revox A77, and I thought I'd just spend a little bit of time showing you how to get the covers off. I've already taken the screws out here, and the knobs have come off the front. With the screws removed, both of these are loose now, but they both pop off. Because underneath, as you can see, they have these pop-off things that just clip in. So basically, you can fairly easily get to this kind of state of the machine, and this is really the starting point for a lot of the repairs that I'm going to show you. And today, I thought we'd start with one of the more difficult pieces, which is I'm going to try and get through to down here. Down to disassemble this, which is the motherboard, and to do some component replacement on it. As I sometimes say during the disassembly, I'm using the Revox kit, which is available on eBay. I'm not paid by them or anything like that, but they do have some very good disassembly instructions, so I'd really recommend that. Start in this area, and I'm going to remove these two screws to basically get this off. Then I've got to get that metal plate out, which is another two screws there. Now I'm going to remove these connections off the VU board. I mean, always use one of these. Take real care. Don't try and pull them off by fingers. Okay, they're off, out of the way. Next to remove is these four screws. There's one here, and likewise on the other side. Yeah, there's a spring as well to come off here. Pull that off, and it just unhooks from the back of the pullback arm there. The back here, there's a couple of wires just on the back of the board there. A red and a black need to come off. Now there's a few cables need to come off the back of the power switch, and there's some motor speed cables as well to come off. It's a little bit dirty there, so just give it a little bit of a brush up. So the machine outside right now, I'm looking back over the board. I'm looking down in here, and in there you can see there's three cables need to come off a micro switch in there. Yeah. Okay, so these ones, they're a little bit fiddly, but you can see they come off that. There's two which are fairly easy to get off, but there's one I could really only get away with by tucking right in the back here, and you can see the two there, but the third one is very difficult to see there, but they go there. Of course, it goes without saying you can't actually go much further without taking the cards out. So here we go. I should have done this before I started, but let's remove him, and then all the cards should come out. Now it's time to start removing all the cables down here that connect to the switchboard. I just realised, remembering these are all signal cables, so they're all coaxed. All still got their individual spades on, so these should come off okay. Yeah. Then there's a blue to come off, and down here. This looks like it's a kind of twin cable, so it's got a ground and two signals, red on the left, grey on the white on the right. Okay, so that looks like it. All the connectors are removed. So now what we've got to do is take the board out. In this case, I'm using the Revox reconditioning kit, so they recommend taking the board out with the switch intact. You can see there's this link here which connects from the power switch down down to the multi-function switch here, so that the whole lot should come out. Okay, the next thing is, like, we're going to try and get this metal plate off. Apparently it's done by loosening these screws. Now, underneath, these seem to be on standoffs. We'll have a little look in a minute, but so you can't basically undo these. The only thing is they seem to be a bit of a strange size. I was expecting them to be metric, whether they've changed or not in their time, but luckily I've got, this is a 7/32, I think, this socket. So, yeah, 7/32, and that seems to do the trick, so we'll see how we get on with that. Yeah, looks like I'll get in there and remove the meter assembly here to get to the last two, which you can see it buried sort of here and here. So yeah, I just refit that because there's no sense. This is all supposed to come apart as one unit. Right. Okay, yeah, and there's one more. There's one more screw. This one just needs to be loosened by the looks of it, and then lo and behold, the whole assembly starts to pull away. Okay, well, optimistically, I'm trying to separate this plate from the circuit board. There's the top plate here. You can see I've taken all of the potentiometer screws out. It didn't really shift, so now I also removed the 3 screws out of this. I'm trying to keep, this appears to be the adjustment assembly. That a little bit there, which adjusts the amount of throw in this arm to keep the switch true on its contact. So this should come out complete and not be disassembled. So this is done quite well, and it's starting to separate, but not in the instructions. But it looks as though I'm going to have to take these cables off. So I've just scrubbed these out, and I'll take a photo and they'll come off. Okay, so it looks as though the VA view board's going to have to be unscrewed as well. So we'll see where we go from there. It's beginning to get there. I am going to have to, these are going to have to come off. There's some signal cables around this socket here, and it looks like an earth to go. But let's see how we get on with that. Right, finally, got the earth cable off as well. So, cables around the sockets are gone, so with a bit of luck, the infamous panel removes, and there it is. There's a bit of a clean up, and here we are. This is the selector switches and the underside of the master board. I mean, to be honest, it's taken me a good hour to get to this stage, so you know it's doable, but make sure you take loads of photos and everything. Okay, so this is the multi-way switch, and I've just been cleaning this up, you know, just rubbing it up and down between these, and you have to, like, very carefully shift the contacts across, and that does expose them. Also, I cut the end off a Q-tip like that, and it does allow you to get in under there with the, you know, a bit of your cleaning fluid, and then just give them a good clean round. Just have to be really, really careful, because I know I've read that these this connector bar here, it snaps really easily here. So, and especially with the weight of this on it, I think at the main switch, you just have to be a little bit careful that none of that goes. Another thing to note is I've changed this pot here. I can't remember what it is, pot 305, but it's only 2-legged, so it only has the wiper and one of these. There's only one of them soldered. These are the new caps in here. So by and large, this is pretty well done. So I'm just unscrewing these screws here to just to take the switches off, and I'm going to try and clean the PCB under there, so we'll see what it's like. Well, after about 1,000 turns on these screws, it's just like opens up to reveal the state of the inside. To be honest, they're completely sealed, these, as a unit, and I'm reasonably happy that you know, these are probably okay. I'll clean this one up, but I'm not going to bother to do the rest. So I've got a bit of a panic here. I just realised that taking the thing off, it orients in two directions. So I was kind of initially uncertain about how to fit this back on. There is actually a kind of a mark, you can just see, which suggests it goes that way up. But then I've also noticed that there's a piece of plastic missing off this one that this one has. So can you see that one's slightly larger, and when you look at the circuit board, you may not see that, the bottom hole is larger, so phew. That's a bit of a close one. Yeah, it's definitely worth a little bit of a mention. These are they're a little bit tricky than they first appear. And they do come off easy enough. It's obviously a good idea to remember which one goes on which. I'd be doing one at a time. But they are like completely sealed. I'm slightly scratching my head because this one, the screw binds a lot more on this one in the thread than it does on this one. And I've got a strong suspicion that when I took this off, it had been fitted upside down, which could well account for some of the strange behaviour. Anyway, onward. I've given the other side of the board a general clean up. I've actually just noticed there's another switch here that I think this is associated with the pinch roller. I'll give that a quick clean before I put it back together. Okay, so no surprises so far on the reassembly. The only thing I did do wrong was in the end I opted to take the power switch off the moving bar because I was really concerned with this moving bar. I was going to snap it. I've seen other people say they snap it. And behind here there's a circuit. Fiddly, but you can remove it. But when I went to put this back in, originally I put these 3 screws, fitted the thing, but I'd left the bar behind the actuator, and you can't get it around. And yeah, that's a typical sort of thing. You think, oh, I'll give it a go, I'll try, and then you break it, and I know you can't get them anymore. So now I'm just going to use the socket top to go around and tighten the 8 screws. It feels to me as though, they should probably have some varnish on, or certainly a washer. It looks a bit odd to me, but that's the way I found it anyway. So I'm just putting these cables back on, and I made a mistake of when I took them off. I realised there's 2 greens here. In fact, you can see these probably go to different boards, and looking at the diagram over here, see, in fact, there's a set of 3 here, green, violet and brown, that go to board A. Green, violet and brown, whereas the other green is in a different wiring set. So I can see this green, violet and brown here. I'll twist it together like that, so I know that this one's the one on the right. This goes to the different board. What a pain, but got away with it this time.